Alright, just gotta make sure everything's fine here. Alright. Copy and paste that, insert that. Do it like this, and just gotta rework this. All right. Just making sure everything is working here. Oop, I like that. See here, copy and paste. Oop. See. Alright, that's taken care of. There we go. Okay, making sure everything is still here. Still recording. Cool. Alright, how to go about this? Turn on music just a little bit. I think I'll work on the... Yeah, I should better... Nah, I better work on the pose first. More of a... I'll try doing this way, doing it this way instead. for today. Just drawing up my AU version of Crafty Corn. It's like now I'm starting to stream almost every day. Well, whenever I have a day off from work. Or if I'm not too tired. How to get this arm here. Okay, that works. Should get down a bit more. There we go. Fix that up a little bit. Yeah, weather's starting to get warmer. Seasons are changing. At least my allergies isn't so bad. That's why the music seems familiar. Okay. Well, let's see what to talk about. What to talk about today? Nothing too much interesting happened today. Ugh. I honestly started enjoying doing live streaming. It's very easy once I get used to the software that I'm using. Just using the old-fashioned OBS. Shrink this down here. Oh goodness, I stayed up later than I should. And hey, I was having a good time. Doing a live streaming late last night. Yeah. And as always, I do appreciate the people stopping by, even some or a few of them who end up sticking around. Turn up the music a little bit here. Let's see. Yeah. Whenever I do live streaming, I want to draw both fan art and original works. Like, there's no reason for me to no reason to limit myself to trying just one thing all the time. As long as I'm enjoying myself, it's all good. There we go. And if anyone on here hears any sounds in the background, that's just my family moving about. Chatting up and moving about. See, so far the YouTube algorithms have been kind. Well, somewhat. Luckily, the music I end up using, I always make sure that it's at least, let's see, copyright friendly and given permission by the creators. That if it's alright to use it on stream videos and such. So, much appreciated to those artists who created the music for just those purposes. And I always remember to at least give them credit in the descriptions. Okay. When I first did Crafty's design, I was happy of how she turned out. Something colorful yet flowery at the same time, while using just at least 4 colors. Save her pendant. Let's see here. Coming up with a design for her wasn't too difficult. Something I need to open up in here for a bit more view here. There we go. A lot easier, just so I can see how I do the ears. Okay. Also, I'm kind of glad I also kind of gave her a, what do they call it? Pixie cut? Or basically more curled, shorter hairstyle. Okay, there we go. It's not that bad. It's pretty amazing that I started doing this nearly. Oh! Little Discord notification I got. Hang on. There you go. Yeah. Sorry if anyone heard the Discord mod notification sound. Let's see what's going on. There we go. That made the legs a little bit more thicker than that. There we go. Also, to anyone who's watching, I hope life has been treating you somewhat fairly. I know life can be very, very difficult, especially right now in these interesting times. Let's put it that way. I hope life treats everyone here way better than it always has been. That's one way to put it. Let me change the head size just a little bit. It's a bit too. Okay. And shorten it down a little bit here. A little bit more upwards. Okay, that works. And a bit too thin. There we go. Do it like this. Yeah, I know my life has plenty of ups and downs. I try to get through it the best way I can. I try to get through it the best way I know how. And honestly, drawing has always relaxed me. So drawing usually helps. Sometimes video gaming. And when I just want to unplug, I love to watch Animal Planet's let's see, Planet Earth, that series. Whenever it comes on, or if I ever have a chance to catch it. And of course, video gaming helps too. Like, I got plenty of video games in my Steam library that, let's see, some I need to finish, and some I really gotta start downloading. And at the very least, I'm also building up my Steam's wish list. That's what I love about Steam. You get to wait and you get to hang on to the games in your wish list. They don't exactly disappear. And all you have to do is just wait for them to come out on sale. And there you go. Let's see, what else can I talk about? I guess I could talk about a couple of video games that are my all-time favorites. Hopefully the music isn't too loud. Let me see this here. There we go. Don't want the music to be way too overbearing. Let's see, top video games that are my all-time favorites. Let's see. I really love the BioShock series. I mean, heck, I even played the BioShock original when it was its own computer game before I got onto Steam. I think that was my first quote-unquote scary game that I ever played. I love the atmosphere, the story was interesting. Well, still is. And then when they came out with Bioshock 2, I remember being very excited to play it because you get to play it as a different character at a different perspective. Try not to spoil it too much. Honestly, I have been thinking about streaming video games. And live streaming. I know I'm not gonna get a giant audience off the bat. But hey, it's something to think about. Let's see, next video games that are my top favorites. I loved the Ratchet and Clank series. My very first Ratchet and Clank game was Ratchet and Clank Future Tools of Destruction. Well, I would play that game on repeat and non-stop. I mean, sometimes I would... It does have great replay value on it. That I would, let's see, replay the game Ratchet and Clank. Just so I'd be able to update... Well, not update. Bleh, upgrade all the weapons I have. I remember having so much fun. Oh, Christy Coleman, 3339. Hello. Let's see. That's on both of them. Okay. But yeah, I love the Ratchet and Clank series. I remember when I was a little bit younger that I would try to collect all the games of Ratchet and Clank just to see if I'd be able to at least play them or at least have them. And I did manage to get almost all of them, except for the more recent ones. And no, not that one. I need this one. Okay, that works. Yeah, those were some of the games I almost played non-stop. Next video game series, or I guess technically a short series I enjoyed. I enjoyed Dead Space. I think that was my very first real horror game that I talked myself into playing. And yes, it's a lot of fun. Let's see, I only played Dead Space 1 and 2. 3 was... Well, when 3 came out, it was kind of a surprise. I was hoping it'd be a bit more interesting. Just tell a little bit more origins about the, little spoiler, where the aliens came from. Oh! Hi, Jojo! Don't mind me blethering on about what my top video games are while I'm drawing. Let's see. Anyway, yeah, Dead Space. I really enjoyed that one. Yeah, when I first discovered... Funny thing, when I first discovered Dead Space, when they played the preview trailer on television, back in 2008, I believe I was 18 years old at the time, and they played it close to midnight. It all started with with their theme song of the more creepier version of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And when I saw that trailer, I was like, it nearly freaked me out, but it captured my interest. I was like, what is this? It's so horrifying, but yet, I want to see where the story goes. So the next thing you know let's see, bought the first Dead Space series on had it on the PlayStation 3. And yeah, I was very, very nervous to play it at first, but I I managed to get through it. Let me just type this in. I also remember playing the game Dead Space with with my sibling right next to me. Like I had my fingers on the whole trigger ready button. Like I wouldn't say I had the trigger fingers, but I was like always walking with the gun out stance whenever I played that game, because yeah, there were moments where monsters will step around the corner right down the long dark hallway. And I was like, okay, I'm ready. I was not ready. Especially in Dead Space, they do have the alien monsters that explode if they get too close to you. But luckily they were loud enough to let you know their presence is right there. But sometimes I just couldn't turn the camera fast enough. And it, like, crawling through the vent and exploding right behind me. But oh yeah, the whole lore behind Dead Space, it's a real trip. Yeah. Dead Space 2 was pretty fun, also. I was surprised, a little spoiler alert, but I'm surprised they let the protagonist actually talk. I guess they decided to put an end to the whole silent protagonist thing. But hey, it was still a fun game. It's more action-packed than... I guess they were leaning more towards an action-packed horror than just horror itself. Which I didn't mind, as long as it was still fun. Yeah. And then when Dead Space 3 came out, I decided to, let's see. I guess I decided not to buy it. Maybe that was that when the PlayStation 4 started coming out? I could not remember. But all in all, I watched YouTubers play it instead. And in my honest opinion, it was okay. Sorry to those who actually enjoyed Dead Space 3. Yeah. But to me, it was more like an okay game. Like in Dead Space 3, like you have the first two of the video games, where you're trapped on a dying space station, essentially, on a dying giant cargo ship, or a planet cracker, as they call it. And in Dead Space 3, you're able to actually go onto a dead planet itself. But then it didn't seem as scary as the first two. Like, number one, the number one Dead Space was terrifying. Number two, it was a mixture of scary and action, but hey, still a lot of fun. Let me shrink this down a bit. Because I am a big sucker when it comes to... Pardon me, adjusting the mic. I'm a big sucker when it comes to, deep lore. Yeah, you can hear the whole game theory theme song playing. But yeah, when it comes to video games like that, I always wanted to dive into the lore to see what it's all about. Okay, listen, I'll be right back. I need to go check on the food I got cooking in the stove. This will only just take a minute. I'll be right back. Alright then. Okay, I'm back. The kitchen is still existing. And anywho, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, lore. Yeah, I love all sorts of lore. Either from horror, sci-fi, anything that can capture my interest. And let's see. I guess what really drove me into the Bioshock series, between 1, 2, and 3, was that, I guess, the full scale of it all. For those who aren't in the know, Bioshock is about, well, the first two is about you ending up in an underwater city. And you're basically trying to figure out what happened. Like, you were in a plane crash. You go through what looks to be a lighthouse, when it turns out it's just a way to get into the city. And you're trying to figure out why your plane crashed and how to get out, essentially. And it's kind of like a very dark 1950s steampunk vibe to it. Of which I am a sucker for. Should I make the lines a little bit thinner? Yeah. So yeah, I still remember playing that game on my very old laptop. Back then, laptops used to have the whole CD player built into them. Nowadays, they don't really do that as much. Which, that makes me a little sad. I wish they go back to that. And you would think about a underwater video game, you would get lost easily, but nope, thank goodness they put in point markers so you can know where to go. While at the same time, you're welcome to explore everywhere. Hello, Rocky. Welcome to the stream. The only thing I know about Bioshock is the big guys. Oh, the big daddies. Yeah, that's what they're called. Yeah, they play a major part in the story. And spoiler alert for if no one doesn't know about Bioshock 2, you actually get to play as one in Bioshock 2. Which really puts a new perspective in the whole story. You could see what they're going through and see what they see. And I also like the game mechanic that, in Bioshock, you get to make a choice. You save the characters called the Little Sisters. You either save them or you don't save them. And yes, it does affect the ending of the game. I always choose to save them because, honestly, the more you save them, it does become a challenge that you have to look after them. But the ending makes it worth it. And yeah, the Big Daddy designs are pretty cool. See, you got the Little Sisters, the Big Daddies, and then they also made the Big Sisters. Which, those are vicious. That's a very turbulent family reunion. Yeah, I think how I discovered, sometimes I stubble my words. Be forewarned. And also, how I discovered the games Bioshock way back then is through, like, back then for the PlayStation 3, they used to have video game manuals showing where to go and all that. And I discovered Bioshock through the playbook manual of Ratchet and Clank Future Tools of Destruction. Because some of the reviews in the back of the book kept mentioning Bioshock. And they kept saying, if you love Ratchet and Clank, if you love this game, you'll love Bioshock. So I was like, you know what? Alright, I'll check it out. And the rest is history. Let's see. Besides Bioshock, Ratchet and Clank, and also Dead Space. I have to admit, Dead Space was also the most bloodiest game that I first played. Still played it though. Let's see. Besides those, I loved the Portal games. Tell you the truth, I remember way back then buying Portal from the old orange box. Valve's orange box. Sinagala Flip Eclipse. Sorry, on my screen it's a little small. Chat's a little bit small. There we go. Hello, welcome to the stream. And thank you. I'm glad you like my art style. You know, my art style sometimes changes depending on what I'm drawing. Some of my characters have more detail, while others have a lot less. And sometimes I like to experiment on mixing them both in together. Ever play Fallout 3? Ooh, no, but I actually do have the game for the PlayStation 3, but I never touched it. I think it was around the time where I started getting more and more busy in my own personal life. But I do have the game, and I am thinking about playing it. Like, maybe if I buy the Steam version, if they sell it on there. Because I've been hearing a lot of good things about Fallout. And I only saw a few gameplays of Fallout 3. At least from the beginning. Keep messing up. Yeah, but that seems like a game I would enjoy. Yeah, I did mention one of these days I'm thinking about maybe streaming myself playing a video game. But if only my work schedule wasn't so... Well, my work schedule, it's pretty hectic. If that could be straightened out, then maybe I'll give streaming a video game a try. Plus, I also have to make sure that I can afford said video game. That's another sad side of the video game industries nowadays. In my personal opinion, they make most of the video games, they make them a bit way too expensive. Because knowing how old I am, I've been around the block. Like, hate to sound like an old woman, but back then, video games were cheap. Well, a lot cheaper compared to what they are now. I remember the most expensive video games were around $65. But those are more for AAA titles. Ones that are indie, kind of like I think with like Portal and smaller indie games back then, they did not cost that much. Well, I'm not saying Portal is expensive now. It's still pretty cheap compared to other games that I've seen. Because really, you're kind of pushing away, in my honest opinion, you're kind of pushing away the customers if you were like trying to make your video game cost an arm and a leg. Which is why nowadays I started watching YouTubers playing most games that I haven't bought yet. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, I could talk about Portal for a little bit. What I loved about the Portal games is basically a giant massive puzzle game, but yet it's the lore and the environment that really pulled me in. Heck, I remember for playing Portal 1 for the first time, Lily had to look up online on how to like figure out how to reach the secrets and all that and what the secrets mean. I remember there was once a full-blown community for Portal 1 when they discovered that in the game you collect these little radios and you have to hold them in certain spots in the level to get a radio transmission. And if you find all the radios and manage to get all the radio transmissions in certain levels, you actually get an achievement for that. And a couple of people actually decoded the radio waves, and it created a picture. Now, when Portal 2 came out, they actually hid in one more radio. Let's see. Steam does have good deals, though. Indeed they do. Indeed they do. Hello, small tree, double three. I'm doing alright. Welcome to the stream. I'm admittedly a little groggy because I did stay up later last night than I should. But I'm doing alright. Luckily, I get a day off tomorrow from work, so I'll be able to sleep in for a little bit. Oh yeah, I love using the Steam website. They always have great deals, and let's see. I guess technically you do hang on to the games that you're buying. Let's see, what else? Yeah. Jeez, I've been having a Steam account for a long time. And I'm so glad I still hang on to it. Because, like I said, more console games have become, well, not just the games, the whole console itself became more and more expensive, so I started switching more and more to playing video games on my computer. Which I don't mind. My computer is technically it is a gaming computer, but I use it for drawing. Because, it had plenty of space and and the frame rate's pretty nice. Let's see, what other video games have I played? Oh yeah, I remember I played Darksiders 1 and 2. It's technically those are old games nowadays, but they were a lot of fun. Challenging, but a lot of fun. Like, you're playing one of the characters representing one of the four horsemen. I had to say, Darksiders 2 was my favorite. Cave Johnson is my... Ah, yes, Cave Johnson. When life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Make life take the lemons back. Yeah, Cave Johnson is a... it's a very unforgettable character. And very cool voice acting, too. Let's see. Oh, yeah, Darksiders. Darksiders was a bit of a surprise for me, because when I heard about that game, I'm like, you get to play one of the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse? Okay, sign me up. For me, it was a very challenging game. But I love the characters, though. So because it is technically more of an action-packed puzzle/platformer game with difficult challenges. I think what really was a challenge for me for those type of games in particular is figuring out where to go. Because I easily got lost in those games. Let's see, what else have I played? Oh, this will take me back. I played Crash Bandicoot Warped and Crash Bandicoot the first one. That was way back then. And I remember both me and my sibling playing Jack and Daxter. And that was a fun one. That was a fun time. Remember doing the whole challenge of getting every single precursor orb. And we managed to do it. See, I've also played the game called Slaughterhouse. And it took me a while to realize that, let's see, one of the more recent Slaughterhouse games, it was based on the more older versions of Slaughterhouse when it was all pixelated. Let's see. But what I loved about the game Slaughterhouse, it may have been bloody, but honestly it kind of fit the theme. The characters had their own personalities that were hilarious. And let's say the changing environments throughout the game, so it was very impressive. Let's see, what else? What other game? I played many games. Let's see, I do have the game Psychonauts, which I didn't quite finish yet. Because I already know what happens in the game. That's another old classic. But still a lot of fun. Let's see, I haven't played their sequel though. But hopefully maybe eventually in the future I'll get on that. And what else? And oh yeah, I played the game called Dante's Inferno, of which, yeah, it is a more mature game. Even had to show my ID to the seller that yes, I'm above the age. I'm at the age I'm able to play it. Again, the environment and the lore around it, I really enjoyed it. Hang on a second, I gotta turn on my lamp. It's starting to get real dark over here. Be right back. Just a second. we go. Alright. Making sure everything's still working. Cool, cool. What other games have I played? Let's see. I played Ico. It's like the game that came before. Is it Eco or Ico? The game that came before Shadow of the Colossus. And I played that game all the way through. I really enjoyed it. It was a very good game. See, I tried out Shadow of the Colossus, but Colossus, the shoes. Shadow of the Colossus. But I never played the whole game all the way through exactly. I guess because when I was a little bit younger, trying out that game, I would get so lost so easily. Of which, that's technically the point. You're supposed to explore the big, wide, open area that you ended up in, and eventually you end up in the battle arena without knowing. Without ever knowing. Okay, I think that's pretty good. But again, that soundtrack, beautiful. Beautiful soundtrack. There's a game for that? Oh yeah, there was a game for that. Shadow of the Colossus, it's very wide and open. Like, it's kind of hard to describe. You got broken architectural here or there, but luckily they at least give you a horse. Let me turn down my voice a little bit. They at least give you a horse to ride on. Which helps speeds up the process. And I won't spoil it. Have I played Iron Lung? No. I haven't played it. Around that time I watched YouTubers play it. And yes, I have watched Markiplier play it. It's a very good game. It's pretty simple, technically a little short compared to other games, but yeah, I really liked it. And eventually, hopefully, I'll be able to watch the movie. Let's see, what other games have I played? Oh yeah, I played some of the Sonic the Hedgehog games. Now this is a funny one. I have played Sonic 06, or Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. And when I was playing that one, I think back then I was, let's see, Sonic 2006. I was 16 when that game came out. Now you can see how old I am. And I still remember that both me and my sibling were trying to play that game, but honestly, to tell you the truth, the game was released unfinished. Yeah, Sonic 06 was released unfinished, and that whole time I thought it was my own gameplay that was making me not so good at the game, when it turns out that, yeah, they kind of rushed the production on it and released it before it was finished. Sorry, I tend to repeat myself sometimes. But it's amazing I managed to basically plow right through it. Let's see, I played Sonic Heroes. Oh, that was another old one. I played Sonic Heroes when it was on the PC. And let's see, I played Shadow the Hedgehog. And I played Sonic Generations. I don't think I, surprisingly, haven't played a lot of Sonic games, even though I am fully aware of them. Oh, I do have the old Sonic Archive games, when it was, before Sonic came to 3D. admit, I'd say my very first Sonic game was Shadow the Hedgehog. Because you get to wheel a gun. Favorite Sonic character? Oh, JoJo. Ooh, honestly, usually that's a toughie. I do like Silver the Hedgehog. There's Espio the Chameleon. There's Mighty the Armadillo. Let's see, and this character was part of the much older games. I forgot which one though, but he was found. In the comics. Bark the polar bear. Because honestly, his design was pretty cool. And yes, I did indeed create my own. Trying to get the light in here. There we go. I did indeed create my own Sonic OC. And it's been a while since I've drawn her. I really should draw her from time to time again, just to see how much my style improved. I forgot which species she was though. I think she was a spotted lynx. I think I have to go back and see if I can find her again to see what kind of Sonic character I made her. But with my Sonic OC, I based her all around more of a steampunk theme. And she had her own world and all that. Like, she was a scientist, really. But, yeah. Let's see, what else? More about video games. What other video games have I played? I played a lot. And some were just one-off gameplays, too. Well, not gameplays. Gameplays for me. Let's see here. I'm trying to remember. Because I had a lot. Let's see. Can I draw our next stream? Yeah. I could draw my Sonic OC during the next stream. If I had the time. Yeah. Like I said in previous streams that I did, I don't mind drawing my OCs or fan art whenever I stream them. I draw what I like and I try to relax and have fun. I'm drawing a blank. I played a lot of video games throughout the years. Now let's see here. What else to talk about? What else to talk about? I guess I can draw a little bit. Not draw, but I'm already drawing. Guess I could talk a little bit more about the OCs that I've created, because there are many. Let me see here. I guess what the kids are calling nowadays a fandom hopper. I hop from different fandoms from time to time. And as of right now, drawing the smiling critters. This is one of the fandoms that I've stuck through with for the longest so far. I mostly, when it comes to fandom content and all that, I tend to stay in my own little corner. And, well, yeah. I just draw what I feel like. When it comes to fandom content, I post it. And then that's pretty much it, really. Yeah, I'm one of those people who mostly tries to, or at least tend to Stay in my own little hole. A little hole I dug into. Let's see, the fandoms I've been... Whoop, wrong layer. The fandoms I've been through. Let's see. I was in Sonic. Now, the Sonic the Hedgehog one, that was a while back. Like back then, I used to have a DeviantArt. Again, you can see how old I am. Let's see here. I was part of the Cuphead fandom. I remember that game coming out. It's a game I never played, but I watched other YouTubers play it. That game is very cool. And let's see. Went through Sonic. Went through the Cuphead fandom. Yeah. I was in the Undertale fandom too. Again, mostly in my own little corner, making my own OCs and all that. I'm pretty sure if anyone knows what my Tumblr account is, you can just scroll through my archive. It's all on there, really. And, let's see. Through the Undertale fandom. Which else? Let's see. Ah, jeez. Am I really drawing a blank? Do you like Kingdom Hearts? Yes, I do. I do like Kingdom Hearts. I remember I played... To this very day, I'm trying to figure out which one me and my sibling played. I remember playing, let's see, both the first and the second Kingdom Hearts. And to this day, it might have been a place called Bastion. Because to this day, I was trying to figure out which game I got so lost in when it came to Kingdom Hearts. Of course, I was young myself back then. But I also remember doing the whole Hydra boss fight when we got to level of Hercules. And Phil, the character, kept on yelling at us, like, you gotta get on the Hydra's back. And I'm like, I'm trying! I can't get to the back because I got 3 heads on me. I can't remember if me and my sibling actually finished the game. We probably did. It's been a long time since I played it. And as for story, I'm not sure what the story is about. All I can remember when it comes to Kingdom Hearts is you're trying to... I know you're trying to fight these hooded characters, while you're also trying to find Mickey? Sorry, it's been a very, very long time since I played Kingdom Hearts. But I remember enjoying both 1 and 2. Okay, go. Yeah, it's really interesting. What I liked about Kingdom Hearts is every world you go into is straight out from the Disney movies, and your character changes the theme to the theme that they're in. I always thought that was pretty clever. No, what else? I never played all of the Kingdom Hearts games, but yeah, I still remember, well, mostly remember 1 and 2. Surprisingly, I never played Final Fantasy. So I watched more of everyone else's gameplay to it. What Disney movie would you add to the game? Ooh. Good questions, Jojo. Good questions. Alright, let's see. What Disney movie would I add to the game of Kingdom Hearts? Ooh, that is... Ooh. Oh, my kid. Sorry. See, I'm sure they already did Sleeping Beauty. They already did Little Mermaid. I can't remember if they did Snow White. But here's an interesting one. What if they, I'm not sure if this will be allowed, but if they can add in Hayao Miyazaki's Spirited Away to Kingdom Hearts, that would have been interesting. Because technically, yeah, it's made from Ghibli films, but it was also shown within the Disney category when it comes to Spirited Away. And I thought that would have been interesting. And also the Black Cauldron. That would have been cool. For those who don't know, the Black Cauldron is also known as one of the darker Disney movies, even though it's animated. And you can also tell just how much older I am, because I still have most of those Disney movies on VHS. Back then on cassette tapes. Let's see. Oh yeah, also Final Fantasy. Yeah, I never played Final Fantasy, but I have seen the movies. One that's technically called Final Fantasy, yet it isn't. And the one featuring, the original Final Fantasy characters. That was way back then. Although the newer Final Fantasy games, again, I had to save money, so nowadays I can't really buy a lot of video games like I used to. But I still remember watching the gameplay of it. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. I think back then my favorite Final Fantasy character, I think his name was Vincent. He was dressed in all red, wearing a long coat. The one in the movie, accordingly to the movie, that he didn't exactly have a cell phone. Oh, that was the time. Let's see, what else? Oh goodness. Recently I have played some more indie video games. Let's see, a little shout out here. I cannot pronounce their name for the life of me. Let's see, there's a video game, it's kind of a short one, called Smile for Me. It's more of an indie, I guess an indie puzzle slight mystery game. It's not all dark and gritty, although there are dark elements that will play here and there. But I really enjoyed it. The fact that one person decided to make their own video games and sell it. It's pretty interesting. See, another indie game that I really enjoyed, it's called Great God Grove. Yeah, that one was another interesting one too. Okay, so I got this down, got that down. Yeah, Vincent Valentine, my beloved. Boy, that really takes me back. Alright, let's see. Okay, I was talking about indie video games. I'm so glad they're actually making more and more indie video games, to be honest. Oh yeah, I played Hollow Knight. Oop, sorry if you hear the Discord sound. Hang on, gotta... Let me answer this real quick. Let me see here. What else? I apologize if you hear any the Discord notifications on here. Hey. Like baby's first stream, sooner or later I will figure out how to work everything. And like, yeah, that's what I was saying. I played Hollow Knight. I enjoyed it even though it nearly made me want to tear my hair out in certain areas. Cause yeah. Yeah, when it came to Hollow Knight, when it first came out, it really grabbed my attention because of the designs of the characters and the fact that you actually had to play the game to figure out what the lore is. And yeah, by the power of YouTube, I had to go onto YouTube to see what the lore was when it comes to the Hollow Knight games. And like, wow, it is really impressive. Let's see, I haven't played Silk Song yet, even though I really want to. But at the same time, I'm trying to decide, do I want to play Silk Song on the computer or on Steam? Or, not Steam, or on the Switch. Because I played Hollow Knight, whoop, wrong one. Because I played Hollow Knight on the Switch when it first came out. Honestly, I wouldn't mind trying it out on PC, since the screen will be a lot bigger, and yeah, I can hook up my, one of my controllers to it. That should make it a lot easier to play. Like, oh boy. Oh boy, Hollow Knight. That brings back so many memories when I first played it. Oh, here, let me answer this notification real quick. It's best designs. Sorry, just answering a friend's notification. Give me 1 second. Let's see here. Either between. No, of course I know how to spell. Why wouldn't I? Let's see. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. Let's see. Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight's a very great game. And I'm so glad that both Hollow Knight and Silk Song is as cheap as it is. Because I think I first bought Hollow Knight when it was around 15 or 14. maybe around close to $20. I'm trying to remember, but I remember it was really cheap and below 30. And yeah, I'm so glad they decided not to do the whole AAA, well, modern AAA pricing route. Because to tell you the truth, might as well say it, I am not going to be paying over $70 up to $80 for a game. Okay, granted, only just this one time for Tomodachi Life. But that was more like a one-time thing. Plus, it was for my sibling. Hey, let me see. Alright, sorry for the slight pauses. Just gotta pull up something real quick. T-H-I-J-K-L-N-O-P. Alright, that'll work. Okay, there we go. Have to start adding in shadows. Yeah, like I said, I'd rather not pay for a video game that's over. It's gonna be over $70. Like I once told my friends, I work for a living. I ain't got that kind of scratch. Like you're chasing your customers away with that pricing market. Let's see. And again, back to Hollow Knight. Let's see. Besides its amazing soundtrack and lovely art style, yeah, it can be very, very challenging. As I remember the level called Soul Sanctum, fighting the soul boss in Hollow Knight, and oh my goodness, that was the most frustrated I ever been at that game. But I still kept going through it, pushing through it. I did manage to beat Hollow Knight. I decided to settle for the more easier to get endings, because I never defeated the final boss. So I guess technically I got the normal endings. But I already decided to look up on YouTube to see what the real endings are. Which, that didn't bother me at all. Eventually I will get Silk Song. And yeah, rather play it on my PC. Again, at least my screen will be a lot bigger. I'll be able to see where I'm going. The Omega Triad. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Oop, let me make sure, is the music still going? Yes, yes it is. Alright. Oh, like, yeah. The whole lore behind Hollow Knight. The fact that, see, you basically have to explore to discover the lore of it all. That's another video game challenge within itself. Well, if only they can release an art book, I would totally buy it. See, I'm pretty sure they might have. Just haven't seen it yet. Okay, let's see. I have played, since we're still on the topic of video games, I have played Cult of the Lamb. Let's see, haven't gotten to the first ending yet, but I have played them. And oh, Love House 777. Hello, hello, welcome. And as I was saying, yeah, I have played Cult of the Lamb, and I know they made so many updates to it. I think I only had about a couple of updates the first time I bought the game, but that was on the Switch. I wouldn't mind buying it straight from Steam, playing on the PC. I don't. When it comes to certain video games, I don't mind starting all over, like Cult of the Lamb, for example. Because I also want to experience the new updates that they have. Let's see here. Okay, what other games have I once played? Oh yeah, I have the old PlayStation Portable, the PSP, of which I don't know why they canceled making more of those. Because those were a lot of fun. Mine still works, as long as I keep it plugged into the battery. And the games I played on there, I played Daxter for the PSP. Blech. Speaking. But my favorite games for the PSP was, let's see. It's a 3-parter series called Patapon. It's a rhythm game. Yeah, the rhythm games. And I've also played Loco Roco. That's technically, well, it's not a rhythm game, but the characters do like to sing, so that counts as their soundtrack. And oh gosh, I miss games like those back then. I was surprised to find out they put the PSP game Patapon on Steam. I'm like, that is so cool. And now, after many years, they're making a 4th one, which isn't called Patapon because I guess the old creators don't work for the studios that produced it anymore. But the 4th game's going to be called Rataton. So you'll have Patapon and Rataton. And it'll still be a cool rhythm game. I think it comes out this month. I forgot which day though. Let's see, what other games have I played? Oh yeah, Stardew Valley. That's another big one I've been playing. And I'm still playing it. A couple of times when I decided to start over. I first started playing Stardew Valley on the Switch. And of course I decided to switch to the PC version. Which, yeah. Still enjoying it. It's still a nice, relaxing game. And what else? What else? See, I also played the game called Yume Nikki. That's another old classic. Even though basically it's a giant exploring game, but it does have creepy elements going on in there. And that game is very vast, especially for something that looks so simple. Like, you walk through a door and you can easily explore that world, and you walk through another door, so it's a door within a door. So yeah, when it comes to Yume Nikki, I think I did have to use a guide to help me explore through all the doors of that game. And also, Yume Nikki is actually free. It's still free to play. Who's my favorite Stardew Valley character? Ew. Honestly, that's a hard one. That's a real hard one, because in this current Stardew Valley gameplay that I've been doing, I mean, in my own video game downtime, see, I decided not to romance anybody off the bat, because the first time I played Stardew Valley, I actually married Sebastian. And yeah, we end up having, the character I played ended up having 2 children with him. But I had no idea that, let's see, in Stardew Valley, slight spoilers if nobody knows, there's 2 monster characters that you can have live with you. Mostly as roommates, which, that was pretty cool. Okay. Let's see, I end up befriending Shane in Stardew Valley first, just to see if I can make him lighten up a little bit. So right now we're just in the best buds level. Let's see, what other games have I played? See, I'm also currently playing Animal Crossing, New Horizons. Geez, when it comes to Animal Crossing, I did restart that game a couple of times. Yeah, it kind of sucks. You can only save it just onto one Switch, and yeah. But still, I'm enjoying that game. Let's see what else. Oh, here's an old computer game classic. I played Plants vs. Zombies. That's a good, fun one. And let's see. Plants vs. Zombies. I have, this was a very old classic one, Diner Dash. I got all 3 games of Diner Dash. So, like, yeah. Let's see, what else? Play the old classical, the point and click games. Mostly the fantasy point and click, big fish games, as they call them. Made from the Big Fish Company. And I'm actually very, very glad that now they're selling those type of games on Steam. Wanted to save up so I can go ahead and buy the entire bundle, which I know it's over $150, but you get the entire library of the Fishbowl games. Plus, I love the artwork in those games. So much detail. They did a very good job in them. Let's see, what else? I even played a very old niche, I guess that's what they're calling them now, old niche or indie games. There's this one game called Stretch Panic. It was on a PlayStation 2. Yeah, I was more of a PlayStation kid growing up. And I remember from those old PlayStation games, they always put in the user manual inside the video game box itself. Always thought those were really cool. But yeah, Stretch Panic was a very interesting game. With a very interesting lore. And it's one of those games I actually found from an old swap meet. Old swap meet, basically like your outdoors Goodwill kind of thing. But I'm glad I hanged on to video games like that, since they don't sell or make them anymore. Let's see. I guess it's a video game topic night, which I don't mind. See, a computer game I always wanted to play is StarCraft or StarCraft 2. But nowadays, the earlier StarCraft games are kind of hard to find. Yeah. Like, I've been looking everywhere for the StarCraft 2 games. I'm like, either go on to eBay or see if you can find it on their own website if they have one. I got a question. Have you tried making a game before? Yes, I have tried. Experimenting. Trying to make like a visual novel game. Mostly for myself. And with my own characters. But, you know, life kind of got in the way and it does get a little difficult when you have other stuff you have to worry about. But yeah, I decided I wanted to try out making a visual novel game. That's because usually the visual novel games are the more easier type of genre or type of style of games to make. And I have thought about it. But yeah, for right now, I just settle on making my own characters and comics. I have made my own comics. I never did finish though. Even had my own comics on the website Webtoons and Tapastic. But they really didn't get a big enough viewer count. They're still there, I just haven't touched them in the past couple of years. But like I said, a lot of stuff in my life kind of happened, and that needed my immediate attention. So I kind of fell off, although I am trying to get back into making my own comics again. Plus, Webtoon, the website as a whole, has really changed since the very first time I got on there. Because nowadays they're trying to promote, using coins to read the next chapter updates of everyone else's comics, and you have to buy the coins to use them as tokens. I don't know, that kind of turned me off from the website in general, since the website of Webtoons is supposed to be, free for anyone to post their own comic books on there and, just to show everyone. And the way that those indie comic book makers or authors or even artists get paid is, well, they can promote themselves on Webtoons using their own websites or their own coffee pages or their own Patreons and such and such. But like, yeah, the whole coin system thing kind of took off over there, and I don't mind waiting for a next comic update, because luckily on Webtoons they don't force you to buy coins, but they do ask if you want to buy the coins just to read the next pages immediately instead of just waiting for it. I'd rather be patient. See, should make a visual novel when you can. I'm currently developing in a dating sim. Dating sim, yeah. I heard those can be a challenge to make. Especially if you have many characters that could be potential dates. So yeah, I know the feel. Yeah, I know the feel. The game I was trying to make when it comes to the whole visual novel making, it's well, it's not a dating sim. It's more like I wanted to tell a story about characters that I made and what they're going through, who their antagonist is, what they had to fight, and who they had to fight it for. That sort of thing. I got so pissed off at comic sites, I made my own. Yeah, that's a good route to take. Okay, let me see here. That's an excellent route to take. Yeah, at that point, it'd be a lot easier just to make your own website. Yeah. You know, way back then, I used to have my own website. But I end up decided to go ahead and get rid of it. Because around the time let's see, it was during my college days. And in college, they were kind of basically forcing us that we had to make our own websites to promote our own artwork. Yeah, I went to a art school, but it wasn't a very good one. Yeah, was not a very good one. But all in all, yeah, in that art school, they did make us make our own website to help promote our artwork. It wasn't really all that good, though. I had like 6 dateable girls. 6? Ooh. Boy. Now that'd be interesting. But yeah, dating sims, visual novels. Yeah, there's a lot I enjoy. I enjoy all sorts of types of gaming that can capture my interest. Let's see. What else? What else? Uh, oh yeah, the art school. Yes, as I said before, I have gone to an art school. The best thing that came out of it is me meeting my best friends, who I still have in contact with to this very day. But unfortunately, yeah, it wasn't really a good art school. I would have gotten a lot more information and better at drawing just from YouTube tutorials. No, I know what you mean. In the dating sim. Don't worry, I know what you mean. Okay, so far so good. But yeah, if I ever get the opportunity to make my own video game, I definitely would. Just not making what type of game, though. Although visual novels would be the easy way to go. Or at least the easy way to start. In my honest opinion. But yes, we need more indie games. We need more indie video games. Let's see. I get the feeling I want the shadows here to be a little bit darker. There we go. And eventually I will start streaming me drawing my own characters, talking about them a little bit more. Because I even have OCs that turn into their own characters. Because, yeah, that can happen. Well, actually, that happens a lot. Let's see. 6 girlfriends. And let's see, what else? What else? Yeah, honestly, when it comes to video games, anything with an interesting lore and story, even the most simple puzzle game, I would totally play it. Or with a simple, well, no, not a simple, with a unique, that's the word, with unique art styles and all that. Then, like, yeah. And what else? What else? Yeah, once the opportunity came, I would definitely stream myself playing video games. Although when it comes to video games, I'm not sure if I want to stream it on YouTube or on Twitch. Because really, I streamed on YouTube because I don't have, as I said before on the other streams that I did, I really don't have that big of a following. And Twitch seems like a place where, I don't know, you need a bigger following for anyone to find you on there. Because I know you can stream on both platforms. But yeah, since I'm, still in the beginning stages when it comes to streaming, I rather take things slow. As my mother would say, one hurdle at a time. And oh yeah, here's something I might as well answer. Here's a question: when did or why did I get into drawing the smiling critters? If anyone knows me on both Twitter and Tumblr. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I do like the game Poppy Playtime. To tell you the truth, I was very surprised that they're still keeping it going after Chapter 5. Because I was under the impression that, Chapter 5 would have been the last one. I'm pretty sure that's how everyone felt when it came to Poppy Playtime. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we're still going. Let's see. And then there's the game. Nope. What game would you stream first? What game would I stream first? Probably BioShock. Since I do have all 3 of them, including the remastered versions on PC, it's either probably BioShock, or maybe Cult of the Lamb. That would have been fun. But yeah, I'd rather start off simple. BioShock or maybe Portal and Portal 2. So many possibilities. But like, yeah. Here you go. But oh yeah, I was gonna answer my own question. Let's see, what made me want to draw the smiling critters? I don't know. I guess these characters kind of touch the nostalgia in me. Remind me of the Care Bears, only with a more, I guess, slightly darker tone, given the environment of how they were made, or where they were made in the factory. So, like, yeah. And then one fan art led to another, and next thing you know it, I'm making my own AU out of them. And yeah, the AU's a little, in my opinion, a little silly. Although granted, I'm glad that people like the design and they like the story concept that I have for it. Okay, let's do this. Get over here. Because really, I haven't been this hyper-focused on certain characters since... Ah, jeez. It's been a while. When work and life take over. Okay. I'll get back into that. Come over here. Yeah. I totally wouldn't mind streaming video games on here. No, I'm repeating myself. I even have Minecraft. But I'm pretty sure people want something a little bit more exciting, I guess. And more with a solid story. And oh goodness, if I end up streaming myself playing Hollow Knight. It's one of those things where I'm like, I will cuss underneath my breath. Still, fun, great game. Really great game. Bring this up a little bit more. Do you have an OC for this fandom? Oh, for our Poppy Playtime? Yes, I do have a human OC. And her name is Wendy. And basically, for me, Wendy's kind of like the player, the quote-unquote player in this AU. Because really, oh, did I put that in the wrong? I did. And that's alright. Because, yeah, usually people will make their own either human OCs or their own toy mascot OCs. But for mine, her name is Wendy. And she's... See, I didn't make her anything too special, per se. She's basically a janitor. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still working on her story. But her backstory, yeah, it's a bit sad. But I'll draw that in the due date, rather not spoil too much. Let me see, what else? What else is there I can talk about? Still can be on the topic of video games. There was a lot of video games back then that I never had a chance to play. Yeah, I never played Star Fox. Never played StarCraft. I do have Fallout 3. I never had a chance to play those. But now, given time, now I do have the opportunities. If my work schedule permits me. Like, I know there's a lot of Sonic games I never had a chance to play. I still remember back then, I always wanted my own Game Boy. That was back then when Radio Shack was still around. I think it is in some places, but ugh. Again, I'm showing my age. Excuse me. See, I have played a couple of Mario games. I have played a Mario Kart. It's Mario Kart 64, and I have tried out a Mario 64 in general. Only it wasn't on my own console. I didn't have any Nintendo gaming consoles growing up. Mostly went over to either relatives or friends' houses, and they would let me play, or I would watch them play. Let's see. Oh yeah, for the PSP, I have Parappa the Rappa. That's another old classic rhythm game. I have both Parappa the Rappa 1 for the PSP and Parappa the Rappa 2 for the old PlayStation 2. And I actually do have a PlayStation 3, the first gen that was backwards compatible. Meaning if you get the backwards compatible PlayStation 3s back then, you're able to play both the PlayStation 1 and the PlayStation 2 on PlayStation 3. But unfortunately, they decided to just cancel the PlayStation gaming console in general, which I was really sad about that. Have you ever played Bully? No, that was another game I never had a chance to play. Again, these are all games that I never had a chance to play, but I heard many good things about. Yeah. Yeah, I never played The Sims either. I guess the closest thing to a Sims is Tomodachi Life. Yeah. I bought Tomodachi Life mostly for my sibling as an early birthday present. Even though I said I wouldn't buy any game that's over $70. Technically, I think at the store we got it from, it didn't hit that $70 mark. And my sibling's like, well, if you're gonna buy this for me, you might as well buy another one for you. So I'm like, you know what? Why not? But yeah. Heck, I still remember every time when our power used to go out when I was a kid, I still had, well, not just the power, mostly just the internet. So whenever the internet goes out, and it takes a while for it to reboot, I always had my computer games. Believe the game. Oh yeah, again, I actually have heard many great things about it. Oh yeah, I also played I played Spyro. I forgot which one of the older games of Spyro I played, but I have played the more recent one that came out a couple of years ago. Or no, not that one. No. It was the remake. Yeah, it was the Spyro the Dragon's remakes that I did. Let me tell you, those flying levels that we have to do. Honestly, that was the more frustrating part of that whole game in general. Let me see. What's your favorite Favorite fantasy trope. Games, my. No, no, you're fine, Omega Triad. You're fine. Let's see, what's my favorite fantasy trope? Favorite fantasy trope. I need a minute to think on that one. Let's see. And no, JoJo, I haven't played any Sims games. Actually, here, give me 1 second. Let's see. Let me see something. It's hard for me to say what's my favorite fantasy trope. Let's see. I guess when it comes to fantasy, I kind of like all fantasies in general. A little tangent from video games, but I have to admit, one of my top favorite fantasy movies is Lord of the Rings. I really love the whole entire series. Got the extended series too. There's a lot of fantasy tropes. There are a lot of good ones. Yeah. See, when it comes to fantasy, I like exploration. I love that they inventing new types of creatures that can be part of the fantasy world. You know, that sort of thing. Like even when they make different types of dragons, that's a lot of fun too. Different types of elves, fairies. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to pinpoint which fantasy trope I like. Surprisingly, a little tidbit about me, I never played D&D. But I know a lot of people really enjoy it, though. See, I know of Critical Role, and let's see, a new animated series. It's pretty cool, pretty good. Can't wait to find out more. Like, when it comes to watching stuff like Critical Role or other D&D campaigns, I usually don't. But there are some moments that will capture my attention. Their animated series is pretty good. Let's see, games in general. What else? Let's see. You know, a little tidbit about me. I've watched, but I never played any of the mascot games. Again, that was around the time when mascot games becoming more and more popular. It was around the time where I had to start saving money. So I couldn't buy video games a lot. It's still the same thing to this very day. I gotta make sure it's either out on sale or be more picky choosy if I'm gonna like it or not. Oh boy. Now let's see. I know Five Nights at Freddy's pretty much started the whole thing. Let's see. And Let me see, what was an interesting one I've seen? Okay, Garden of Banban. Garden of Banban is a interesting one. I'm just gonna put it that way. Although, granted, it is fun watching some of the YouTubers that I know of play it. And some, unfortunately, almost losing their minds playing it. Yeah. But I know some of the character designs of Garden of Banban can be, it's also popular. At least they're recognizable. I will give it that. Garden of Banban's mascots are recognizable. That is until they start introducing a brand new character off the jump. Honey, I played so many tabletop games, and I made my own rule set based on my universe. Oh, that's cool. At least you have a universe to build off of immediately. Something you can work with, you know? Okay, let me see here. Streaming clock. How am I doing? Over 2 hours. I don't mind. I can keep going. It's not that late into the night. I'm good. See, I know there was a more recent, a more recent mascot, quote unquote, horror that came out. I forgot the name of it, but it's well, it's certainly capturing attention. I mean, granted, I'm not sure where the story's gonna go with it, but who knows? See, but besides video games, I also enjoy a good ARGs too. Like one of my favorite ones would be let's see. Of course, it's not a video game, just breaking away a little bit from the video game topic. If any of you know Welcome Home, you know, featuring the creator clowns and their own puppets, where you had to explore the websites just to find out the secrets. Yeah, I really enjoy those. That's kind of how I got inspired to make my own puppet OCs. It's all thanks to Welcome Home and some other artists who made their own puppet OCs as well. Yeah, I can't wait for the next Welcome Home update. Looking forward to it. As I think the last update that they did for the website, that was the first time I actually explored the website on my own without looking up any YouTube videos about it. Although granted, I did have to go to the internet to ask how to find one of the secrets. Because I had no idea that sometimes the secrets are literally hidden in your own computer's coding. Or, as they call it, your own computer's index. It's something like that. Honestly, I really should start drawing my puppet OCs more often. I did stream it last night for one of them. glad people liked her design. Ooh, throat's getting dry. Excuse me. Who's my favorite Welcome Home character? Ooh, that one's another toughie. Let's see. There's Frank. Guys, little spoiler alert, I think Frank is becoming the one who's getting closer to figuring or trying to figure stuff out. Of course, there's Wally also. Like, all the characters are great. I guess for my top favorite between Frank and Wally. Because I actually do want to see where their stories are going to go. Looking forward to it. Oh yeah, another video game I'm looking forward to play. I do have a video game called Enna Dream Barbecue. And luckily that game is free on Steam. As I already watched gameplays of it. But to try it out yourself, it's kind of like a must. It's like a must. You have to at least try out the game yourself. It's pretty cool. They made it is technically a big game for it to be free. It's pretty cool that they rely on mostly donations or commissions off of artwork, I think. Also, I'm glad people are enjoying the stream so far. This time, at least I found a topic I can actually talk about. Talk about. I'm usually nervous when it comes to preparing for streams. As it does get challenging trying to find what is everyone gonna stick around while I jabber on about. And I do mix up my words a lot sometimes, just so you know. Okay, let's see. Another video game I'm looking forward to playing called Slay the Princess. That'll be an interesting one. Excuse me. Just give me 1 second. Let me adjust myself in my chair. There we go. Oof. I'm trying not to shrimp so much. Alright, so far so good. Okay, let's see. Another video game that also captured my interest, but I don't think I'll be able to play, because you need to play this particular game with a VR headset. It's called the Utility Room. Not sure if anyone's ever heard of that. And in the utility room, you're basically at the very edge of the universe, and you're exploring there, and it has huge themes of megalophobia. Basically, the objects in that game are really, really, really big. So making that into a VR headset game was a very smart move. Because I watched the first gameplay of it when it was mentioned, and yeah, that game is really interesting. It's really cool in the most bizarre way. Like, you're basically exploring the the janitor's closet of the universe, essentially. But I don't have the money for a VR headset, so for now, best to watch someone else play it. See, what else? What else? Alright, Omega Triad. You have a good night. Good luck on your appointment. You get plenty of rest. Okay, what else? What else? I guess moving off of video games, I can talk a little bit about TV shows. Favorite TV shows I used to watch when growing up. Let's see, I'm a 90s kid, born in the 90s, smacked in the very beginning. So yeah, way back then, I used to watch old Nickelodeon and the very old Disney Channel. Before they put in more reality shows onto the channel, they used to play the Disney shorts featuring Mickey Mouse and the crew. And I'm talking the old ones where they used to be tangled with merry melodies. That was along with Looney Tunes. I used to watch the Looney Tunes a lot, along with my mom. And let's see. My favorite TV shows, I have a lot. I'm a big cartoon lover. What can I say? A big lover of cartoons. Which kind of influenced me to start drawing my own characters. Let's see. From the old Cartoon Network, if anyone remembers that. My top favorite was Courage the Cowardly Dog. I used to watch the Powerpuff Girls, Ed, Edd n Eddy, I Am Weasel, Johnny Bravo. I used to watch all the old classics. And then on the old Nickelodeon, used to watch Doug. That was an old classic. The Rugrats, Ren and Stimpy, Rocko's Modern Life. There was Hey Arnold, Real Monsters. Yeah, I used to watch all the old classics. As a matter of fact, I managed to collect most of the old classics on DVD. Where I live, there's an old movie and video store that always brings in the old classic, even pre-owned movies. And luckily, they had most of the old classics there. So, that was a very lucky day for me. And yeah, I got some of the old Disney classics too. And when I say old, I mean old VHS types. Before the DVDs came out. I have to say my favorite old Disney animated movie was Alice in Wonderland and Fantasia. Let's see, Fantasia being my top favorite, and then there's Alice. Some of the Disney princess movies were pretty good too. And would you believe me, I actually saw most of them in theaters back then. I used to play them in movie theaters back in the day. Now, if you want to go to the movies, you have to pay an arm and a leg just to get a ticket. Which is rather sad. I used to love going out to the movies. I mean, I still do, but I have to wait for the opportunity to come. And yes, I'm also one of those people that wish we could go back to having Disney being more animated again. But I know nowadays they do say that, you have to pay the animators, which, yes, you should. But you would think that a very big company like Disney would have enough money to do that. Yeah, times have changed. When it comes to the current, more modern, recent Disney movies, most of them are pretty much in my opinion. Honestly, the best ones I've seen was Cinderella. They did a very good job on that one, especially with the dresses. Like, sometimes you don't really, like, you can make the dresses simple, but you had to put some glitz and glam on it. See, the modern Jungle Book, I have to say that wasn't too bad. At least I honestly had fun with it. But then after that, yeah, I'm pretty sure most people already know. And plus, some of the old Disney movies, I wish they can just, replay them again in theaters. And the Disney movie Treasure Planet, being the last animated Disney movie. Yeah, it's too bad it didn't do so well in the box office. Although during that timing, it was due to bad marketing and bad timing. And honestly, that movie it's really well done. It's very beautiful. Yeah. When I was younger, before, wanting to create my own comics and all that, yeah, I thought about what it'd be like to work for Disney back then, when they still had their animation department. But yeah, they pretty much stopped doing all of that. Which, yeah, very sad times. Let's see, 3D animation? Yeah, 3D animation is actually pretty cool. I did enjoy Pixar, and Pixar's been around for a good long while. Oh, how time flies. Seeing the very first Toy Story and A Bug's Life in theaters. They may seem dated now, and hey, at least back then they told really good stories. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Okay, let's see what else. But yeah, it was because of cartoons back then that that I really got into character art. Although granted, before drawing and doing all this, I thought about studying to become an astronomer. Like astronomer, I always wanted to study the star patterns and look through those giant telescopes for exoplanets to see and discover new nebulas or black holes in space. But I know it takes a lot of schooling for that. And I guess my interest kind of went somewhere else and went more into character art and drawing in general and making comics. But my interest in space is still there. Yeah, that's a part of me that that refuses to die. But, oh well. Some dreams that I had back then I didn't mind giving up. Because now I'm putting my skills into something that I really, really enjoy. Like what I'm doing right now. Let's see. Do, 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 do. Yeah. When it comes to my schooling, I went through regular school. You know, old Western, old American schools and all that. So nothing too major, nothing too big. See, a little about myself, I did go to a community college first. Just to see what it's like to get the whole college feel. Took normal classes. I did take a lot of art classes. More like drawing studies and all that to get better at drawing objects and certain things. Then when I got into to a real, well, I wouldn't say quote unquote real anymore. It shut down. But when I got into an real art school, yeah, that was rather interesting. Unfortunately, it was not the best. Like, it's one of those moments where you see other artists doing such amazing work, but they never went to art school. And then when you yourself go to an art school, you have to try to follow all the rules that the teachers or the quote-unquote professors will lay upon you. And you realize that your style has not been growing. Like, you're still doing whatever the old professors were doing. But now, since you're no longer, in school and you don't have a teacher breathing down your neck, now I can just pretty much go all out and draw the way I want to draw. Because, honestly, I have to tell you, at this art school, most of the teachers wanted me and a whole lot of students to draw more of the Marvel or DC comic kind of realism, which that's fine. Some students wanted to draw the whole superhero style and all that. But when you're forcing most, if not all, of your students to just study that one thing, you're kind of causing them to be let's see, what's a good word for it? A little stunted in their growth if you're not going to allow them to explore. Like even some of the old professors or the old teachers at that art school, they mostly only wanted us to to draw in that style, and they did not want a huge majority of us to draw anime. They did not want us to draw in the anime style, which I found honestly very funny. Because even in certain DC or Marvel comics, they have tried out the anime style before. At least here and there. And what's rather really interesting, at this art school, they didn't want anybody to draw in any fan art. Like, no fan art was allowed on your own website. No fan art was allowed in, in your school assignments. They did not want any fan art. Of which, alright, we can create our own characters. That's fine, but that kind of takes the fun right out of it. And the most interesting thing is, for one of the very brand new Spiral games, the more modern ones, the brand new Spiral, the Dragon games, most of all the Dragon characters in there was drawn by an artist who did basically all the artwork that was actually fan art for Spyro, and his artwork got chosen to be featured in the games. And the same thing happened to in the movie Detective Pikachu when that Pokemon movie came out. I think the person who did the more realistic versions of all the Pokemon for Detective Pikachu, the movie, was drawing fan art of how the Pokemon would look realistically, and they chose him. So I'm sitting there, and after graduation, sitting there like, they've been telling us and most of the students not to draw any fan art, but lo and behold, the people who were drawing fan art were getting chosen by movie studios and video game companies to draw their art, or to draw their style for said video games. I'm off to bed. Thanks for the fun stream. Alright, Jojo. You have a good night. So, yeah, like I said, yeah, there's some art school that I went through. I'm not going off too much of a tangent, but this art school that I went to have been telling us this whole time not to draw or add any fan art on your own website, which they force you to pay for. And yet you have other artists making it big by drawing fan art and adding them to their own websites. So, yeah, you can see where the the quote-unquote hypocrisy comes in when it comes to that. So, yeah. And, oh yeah, as I said before, that, yeah, that art school shut down. I won't give out any names, but pretty sure maybe someone who's watching this might know or have a clue to which art school it was, because they had to shut it down throughout the whole entire country, like across the nation, because of yeah, at the same art school, and they had it in near all sorts of different states where I am, like in the country I live in. Pretty sure you already know which country I'm living in. What am I saying? But yeah, they shut the whole entirety of that art school down because like, yeah, most of the students who graduated were not getting jobs in their field. And normally that can happen. That happens very normally. But unfortunately, more and more more and more parents of these students started popping in saying, hey, whatever you were teaching is not working getting a job in their fields. And then there have been too many complaints about that school in particular. And yeah, there was money laundering going on. So yeah, they had to shut that all down. And that was the art school I went to. I mean, it wasn't all bad, really. I mean, that's how I managed to make friends and met my best friends from there, who I still have in contact with to this very day. But still. Yeah, the whole don't do fan art. You're not allowed to do that. Or don't put any fan art, or don't do anime. They will not hire you if you do that. That was really, really wild. A really wild take for the teachers to say. Alright, it's looking fine. So yeah. I honestly wouldn't say I wasted my time at that school. Well, not completely. Only that they really, at the certain art school I went to, they really did the students dirty. Even some of the teachers who flew all the way out there with real animation or video game degrees, or video game programming degrees, I must say, flew out there to teach us, and they were not getting paid enough to stay there. Which we end up having to recycle teachers over and over again. Even teachers where they have to teach a certain class that they have no idea how to teach. Yeah, there were some teachers there that I really liked. I loved my character art teacher. We all did. He was a lot of fun. I remember he assigned to us this homework challenge that you have to draw 150 little characters and under the spam time limit. Under a span of between a minute or down to 30 seconds. It was a real challenge, but it was a fun challenge. Honestly, we all had fun with it. And it was pretty sad that he said he had to go, because really the school was not paying him enough. Of which that's happening still to this very day, which is really sad. Lost a lot of good teachers that way. Yeah, just to hopefully not repeat myself too much. Yeah, I went to an art school. It was alright. I mean, they taught me the more fundamentals of storytelling and character art. But to tell you the truth, the way I got even better at, drawing is I just kept going. Like I never stopped. That isn't to say that I draw every single day. I usually don't draw every single day. Sometimes I gotta, let my hands breathe. Let my hands get a break. But, yeah, I basically started just drawing what I like. Drawing characters that I love and drawing OCs that I like. So, yeah, I never stopped, and it kind of helped me, get better at drawing in general. I'm always learning. I never stop learning new techniques and all that. And I think that's basically it on how to get better get better at drawing. Yeah. Oh yeah, getting back to video games. Especially when it comes to indie. Kind of went off a tangent there. Apologies. See, another video game I really enjoyed. See, it's in a very small series. It's called Helix or Hylix. And what's cool about Hylix 1 and 2, or Helix, it's kind of I'm not sure how to pronounce it though. Either way. The thing about Hylix is Hylix 1 and 2 is that the creator of that game actually made his characters out of clay first and using vector or rotoscoping. Well, he basically took pictures of it and put them into the video game. So the entirety of the video game of Helix or Hylix is basically made from clay that the original creator created himself. So it's really, really cool. It's kind of an abstract game, but there is a story to it. See, another video game that I enjoyed the game of Franbo and Little Misfortune. I love point and click games like that. And Franbo was pretty fun. I still have it. Actually, that'll be another fun game to stream if I ever get to it. Let's see, Little Misfortune. That one was a fun one. I hope they hope that small team keep making more games. I heard that they might make another Fran Bow game when Fran is a bit older, I think. Although I'm not sure. Hopefully they will. See, another game. Ooh, I love Alice Madness Returns. That was also another one of my top favorites. I never played the very first Alice game by American McGee, but I did play Madness Returns and I enjoyed it. I even got the art book for it too. And of course, I was very disappointed, along with everyone else, when the gaming company that starts with an E and ends with an A decided to cancel on it and not give him back the licensing for Alice. Because he thought about creating Alice Asylum. But unfortunately, the gaming company decided to shelve it and put it in development hell. And it got to a point where the creator basically said he would like to move on. Like, he tried to get them to create the game and get the licensing back, but unfortunately it never happened. Which I was very disappointed. I was looking forward to Alice Asylum. Oh well, at least American McGee did a solid and I think posted his concept art for Alice Asylum in PDF for free. In a PDF format. I think on his Patreon? It's been a while, but I managed to download it and I saved it. Because I love art books like that. Still wish to this very day they kept going with it, though. Right, let's see here. Almost 3 hours, but it's still not too late into the night. See, I'm so glad I can find a topic to talk about. But yeah. Let's see what else. Give me 1 second. Oh yeah, there's another little series of games that I also like. It's also a point and click game. I forgot what that gaming company is. I forgot what that small gaming team is. But one of the games they created, it's called let's see. There's Samorost 1, 2, and 3. I played all 3 of them. That one was those were very good point and click games. It all seems to be like what's cool about those games? They actually took pictures of the background, like real world stuff like hills and grass and all that, and copied it and pasted onto the background. There's Machinarium, made from the same team. Really love that too. And Botanicula. That's another good one. So yeah, to those who stuck in the beginning, yeah, I played a lot of video games. Still sad of how expensive they're becoming, though. Kinda glad that Silk Song kinda broke the market when it comes to that sort of thing. Like, some AAA games, they're still good. Still fine, but again, I'd rather not pay an arm and a leg. And plus, lately, I have been on and off when it comes to AAA games. I don't think I played a AAA game in such a long time. Or in a good long while. At least, not to where they're the more recent ones. Started playing more of the affordable ones. Like, if you really want to create a video game, I know you want to match market price and all that, but sometimes the market price isn't really, what am I saying? Sustainable right now? And if you want people to play your games, you can at least try to make it more affordable, you know? Just make it more affordable. Alright, so far so good. It's been almost 3 hours. Let's see. Turn up the sketch here. Okay, I can still do it that way. Not exactly a gold, but alright. Yeah. You found out a little bit about me. I figured I might as well start blabbing about something, since in the previous streams I have been rather quiet. see here. Let's see here. Okay. Do it like this. Right, what other games? I could still talk a little bit more about video games that I've always wanted to try. Let's see, video games that I like. Oh yes, haven't exactly play it, but I do have the video games of the original, see, it's called Abe's Odyssey, made by Oddworld. And it's so cool about that game, it's both a puzzle game, but also a very difficult one. Because it's also a puzzle game where you can die a lot. And if you don't save your friends, then basically you get the worst endings. But how it's all made, it was made back in the 90s. I'm so glad they actually decided to remake them. Like, those games are a classic for a reason, especially for the whole Oddworld series, the environment of it all. Taken in place on a different alien planet. And the stories behind it, it's really good. But when it comes to games like that, I'd rather watch someone else play it. Although granted, I do have Oddworld's Abe's Odyssey Big and Tasty. That's what they call it. And I have the original Oddworld game. Let's see. They did make Abe's Odyssey, Abe's Exodus. That one was a really good one. Then Munch's Odyssey, and then Stranger's Wrath. And I bought the original art book for those games too. Oop, wrong layer. I was like, yeah. See how I got this right here. Yeah, I can still do it that way. Still might have to darken the shadows here and there just to get it to where I want it to be. But all in all, so far, it's turned out good. I think that's the longest stream I had so far. Like almost 3 hours? But I don't mind. See here, if we do it like this. Yeah, I'll do it like that. Now for the next challenge. Choosing what to talk about in the next stream. Like I said, I am enjoying doing streaming. Just to show everyone the process of what I do. And also to let people know, yeah, what I was into, a little bit more about myself. Okay, let's see this. Too dark. Nope. See here. Bring back the music. There we go. See what else. What other games have I played back then? You know, I once did play a very old Mortal Kombat game. I forgot which one though. I guess it was probably the first. Yeah, it was probably the first Mortal Kombat game. I think the first time... Whoop, wrong one. I think the very first time I ever played a Mortal Kombat game, I was in elementary. Yeah, I was in elementary, and the fact they even allowed to bring that game in there for during the whole after-school program I was once part of. Although the older kids were able to play it, most of us younger ones just sat there and watched. It was interesting. I didn't quite get it. But yeah. I guess I wouldn't say that counts me as playing it. I had to watch other people play it. But some of the old arcade games, I played some of those too. I'll make some of this here a little bit darker. But yeah, that's a little bit of a topic on video games. Gotta thank my friend thank the friend Jojo here for giving me all the questions. At least that really helped to talk about some certain topics I can actually answer. So far, so good. And I'm honestly, almost done with this. Just want to bring out the shadows a bit more. And as for this, maybe if I bring down the opacity a little bit. Bring up the shine a bit more. And do it like this. Okay, let's see. Alright. It's looking a lot better. I'm gonna put some more shine on ya. Too much right there. Very cool. Sometimes I don't want it to look too shiny. Sometimes looking simple is pretty much the best deal. That's bad. Although, let me see here. Yeah, I did add in a bit more darker hues when it comes to the shadows. I'll just do it like this. It needs to be darker, a bit darker. Oh yeah. And also sometimes I do listen to video game video game soundtracks whenever I draw sometimes. Sometimes I always end up having to have something in the background. And honestly, I know I've streamed at least, was it? Nearly 4 days in a row. But I honestly don't mind it. As I know for a lot of people, they have to stream at least, what, 2 or 3 times a day? Which for a beginner like me, I can't even imagine. There we go. I'm getting the... Let's see. The darker tone of the shadows, the darker shade that I wanted. Cool, cool. Okay, I'm gonna get this part here. At least this kind of makes it easier. I'm technically not editing anything. Which cuts down on my on the editing time in half. At least for right now, for today. I know I've been streaming for nearly 3 hours. But at the very least, I feel like for this one I'm able to just to chill out a bit more. And I also hope you all don't mind that I rambled on. Rambled on about video games earlier. Like yours. Let's see, Senegala Flippicalypse. Ah, thank you. Glad you like my style. So welcome to anyone who stopped by to just take a peek or just to say hello. Just putting on more of the finishing touches here. Earth Spark Cooks. Ah, thank you. Thank you very much. Glad you're liking the artwork from what you can see. Or from what you can see. Ah, jeez. Right now, just putting in the finishing touches. Try to fix up some of these shadows here. should really make this a bit darker around this area. Okay, that works. And a little bit around the tail. And I suppose, in a way, you can see how long it takes me to draw and complete a picture. At least a couple of hours. Especially when I end up getting too picky on myself. Oop. Ooh. And let me see this here. See if I can go ahead and fix this a little bit. There we go. Okay, nice, nice. I go ahead and make this a bit more, like a bit more simple. Sometimes it doesn't need to have too much of a detail. I know a lot of people would actually ask me that. Actually, I know a lot of people might ask me, can't you use a brush to make the sparkles? I'm like, nah. When it comes to me drawing, most of the stuff I do is all free-handed. Because really, it relaxes me. Well, granted, there will be a time where I may have to use a brush for a certain effect and all that. But then, other than that, I usually don't use that many other brushes too much. I'll add in one more right here. Alright, go with this. Da, 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 da. Alright, I'm almost done. Possibly when I'm done with this, then I'll end the stream. Has been over 3 hours. Which is actually pretty good. My first longest stream I ever had. Or I ever done so far. Nope, too big. Right, last but not least, add a bit of a shadow underneath her feet, or her hooves. And actually, there's one more thing I need to do from here. No, do you like this? And then I'll do it like this. And fix this up, make it look a lot better. Bring down the opacity. Same thing with this one. Okay. Okay, that looks a lot better. Alright, cool. Alrighty then, that should be enough for now. It has been over, let's see, 3 hours and 30 minutes, I believe. Thank you all so much for coming out here and watching me stream and ramble about myself and video games. Or at least ramble for as much as I can. Alright then. That should be the end of it. Alright, thanks for stopping by and watching. Have a good night.